guys, welcome back to Kpop Talks. Today we're doing the best and the worst songs of March 2025. We're doing a monthly Kpop review of the releases that came out during this month, pretty much from K-pop groups, solo artists, rappers, pretty much the entire music industry based on what I know came out. So if I missed something, let me know of importance. I've listed around 60 songs that I normally have on my YouTube playlist, and I'm gonna nominate the ones that I like the most, the ones that I like the least, and the ones that I feel like there's something to discuss about the group and the certain situation that they're right now. So let's get right into the video without wasting more time. First, we have a Young Posse with Cold, featuring 10 centimeter. Great song. I think this is an example of how you make a great song that is very different from what your group has done until this point. I think you end up in a situation where you can still make great music. You don't really kill the identity of your own group, and it still sounds like a Young Posse song, you know, with some really quality singing and a great feature by obviously 10 centimeter, and a very very sweet song. Great R&B track, front to back, very very chill, and it's very cozy, you know, perfect for that time of the year. And you know, it works very well. I think it showcases some range from the girls where they can do different genres and kind of get out a little bit of their comfort zone, but still being true to their identity, which is very important, you know. Next we have Sabine with B Sabine. Never knew who she was, but one thing I really liked about this song specifically is that I think this is a great example of how you can make, I think, qualitatively really good, you know, pop punk style music and do it well. The rapping sections are even decent, so for me there isn't much like hater towards it. I think it's a solid track from an artist that I discovered and I kind of enjoy, and I wanted to highlight, you know, because sometimes when you see good stuff you want to highlight it, and in the industry where specifically it's very hard for smaller artists to come out, and the chorus of the song is very very good as well. I think she can really sing her ass off, which I didn't say. Next we have A-Turn with Lego. I think the problem with this track for me is that it's a mishmash of all the things that were really popular in K-pop in the third generation. So the beat, the drums, the snares, the hi-hat, they're very standard, and the structure of the song is very standard, you know. So it sounds like stuff I've heard all my life. I think if you're a younger fan, maybe got in the industry very recently, you probably will enjoy it more than me. But for me, it's just another song of a group that tries to do the exact same thing that others group do it without no sort of flavor with it. And I think A-Turn is a decent group. I think it's kind of a misstep for them. Next we have N-Mix with No About Me. Probably my favorite song of this year so far. Great chorus, great vocals. I mean, the evolution of N-Mix has been fantastic, I think. Again, this is an example of a group I think really started badly, in my opinion, and last year released very good projects. This year started off in this month again with another very good project. They're keeping this concept and style going on. I think it's really working well for them. I think one thing personally I really enjoyed about it is the quality of the production, and the fact that it feels kind of a gap, an empty space that exists already in the industry, and I think nobody's really doing this style as much, and I think they're doing it greatly, and the girls are killing it obviously, and the music is very good. Next we have B2B with Love Today. Great song by B2B. This is one of the best things B2B is at, which is making these really fiery, beautiful ballads, feel-good tracks that I think most groups can't really do, and B2B has mastered. Vocally, obviously, they're next level, and I think on top of being next level vocally, their production elements, I think Yoonsik is still producing most of their music, is fantastic. And again, this is how you make a great ballad. You know, I'm not the biggest enjoyer of ballads, I've always said this, but I think when you can make them this well and you can make them this good, for how long have they made them now? For like 10 years, and they've mastered also the insertions of the rapping elements inside of their own songs, which is something that a lot of other groups struggle with when they make this genre. I was saying Pena has improved so much. Go hear him in 2011, right? I mean, they've been around for almost 15 years. That's crazy, but wait. What a great group. And you look where they were and where they are now, they're a completely different beast in my opinion. Next we have New Beat with Jello. It's okay. The problem that it's just too NCT coded from the music video, from the production, the rapping, the chorus, the pre-chorus, the bridge, everything is so NCT. It sounds like Cherry Bomb and that fire truck, that era of NCT kind of reminds you a lot of their music, which in itself it's not a bad thing, but I think when you're copying a lot of elements in a very similar way, I think it's a risky thing. I think most fans now don't care, but like I don't think they would have flown off. I don't think they would have flied like a long time ago. Now you can get away with it a little bit more. And again, I like personally New Beat. I really like them. I was forgetting their name. I had to check for a second, but I think they can be much better. And I think they're a group that I think has showcased multiple times that they can do stuff that is more interesting, but give them a more classic NCT coded track isn't the way, in my opinion. Next we have One Way with Starry Night. Very good rock song. I mean, great track by One Way. I think didn't have a great 2024, in my opinion. Comeback had a great start, I think, to 2025. Starry Night's a fantastic track. Great vocals, powerful vocals, and a pretty solid, I think, instrumental to follow it and to really give you a nice, fun, kind of like rock, pop rock, even not really alt rock, but like pop rock type of variety to it, and a really enjoyable variety to it, in my opinion. Next we have Gem Blue with Act Like That. I think this is their debut. I have to say, it's pretty good. It's pretty high quality. The vocals are on point. Production is okay. I think it's serviceable for a debut, really, in 2025. But I love the pace of it. I love how upbeat it is. It's very catchy. Just makes you. It's one of these songs I think if you really like it, you can listen to them or repeat without really getting bored. And I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the production. I really enjoyed the direction they're going with this group. Hopefully, they can improve on it as time goes on and really, I think, set themselves apart even more than other groups that already do a similar style, like Les Seraphim or IVE, or even partially Twice with less upbeat productions, obviously. Next, we have another legendary boy group, Infinite with Dangerous. Pretty solid track overall. I've enjoyed it less than their comeback last year, which right now I think it was called Wind, if I'm not mistaken. That song was incredible. Or Infinite, I don't remember how it was called. It was an incredible track. It was one of my favorite tracks of 2024. But I think specifically, this is a good song. This is a great example how you can make a second generation style song in 2025 with a modern twist and still be unique and original and still be Infinite through and through. So give them credit, and I love to see, guys that around my age that are still killing it in this industry. They're older than me. They're like in their mid-30s, but still, the point stands. Next we have Shumin with We. I'm kind of disappointed by this, honestly. This doesn't feel like a Shumin track at all. It doesn't feel like they really tried to do anything unique for him. It sounds something like they could have put on Baekhyun's album, on Key's album, and it would have been good. But again, he does a good job. But I feel like at this point in his career, he should try to do something a little bit more unique. And Shumin, for me, is one of the few guys from EXO that doesn't really stand out at all in that sense. And so to see him make music like this, which again makes him look like just another guy, I think for me is a problem, considering the importance and the historical importance that someone like Shumin has in K-pop and in SM. So I'm disappointed by it. Next we have the boys with Triple V. I just think it's okay. I've heard much better stuff from the boys in the past. This is for me more of a, you have to release something this year, it's well executed. I think it's a great dance track for what it is. It's just they have much more higher expectations. They're veterans now, so they're delivering. They have to deliver much more. I think the basic stuff, it's not enough for me anymore. And next we have Jenny. Next we have Jenny with Like Jenny. Good song. I really enjoy it. I think it's super fun to listen to. But I mean, Doichi heavily carries this track completely. I mean, she completely shadows, I think, Jenny, which does a decent job. Similar to the rest of the project that she does. I think it's called Ruby. It's a solid album, in my opinion. The problem with YG is the same, which is this is classically a song they wanted to originally give to Lisa, and they cut it and they gave it to Jenny. And when I say it, people are gonna get mad. Blackpink fans are gonna get mad, but it does sound like that. Even the choreography, it looks like at least a choreography. But I have to say, Doichi's part is great, and the chorus is very catchy. And I think outside of the chorus, I think the song is very, very fun, which is pretty cool. Normally, this type of tracks I'm not the biggest fan of in K-pop, but in this case, they work and they fit Jennie's, I think, style and concept. Let's say much more than a Jisoo or a Rose or even a Lisa, in my opinion. Next with XG is This Love with a new Jeans step track, which is funny to say, but it's true. It's decent, but it's a new Jeans song, so I don't really get fully why they would do it, but obviously the best parts are the rap sections. They're really good rappers, and I wish they went more on the rap side of things, like they were doing pre-debuts, which is give them a really dope beat, go pay the Alchemist or something, you have the money, and make a full hip-hop album front to back. You can do that. You can afford to do that now, instead of giving us basic new Jeans. Set yourself apart even more if that's what you want to do. But I assume also the girls wants to do this style, right, which is more classic idol in that sense and what they would want to do. Unexpected Banger by W24 with Seize the Day. Amazing track. Really fucking good. Super alternative 90s rock. Super dope drums. Super dope guitar on it, and really, really good vocals. This is an amazing track. Congrats to them. This is how you can make a different style of music that normally you don't really see in Korea and make it really good. I think if you're a fan of, I don't want to say grunge, but grunge, 90s alternative rock, I think you will enjoy this track a lot. Next with Alexa with Sugarcoat. Super good song. I mean, I really like it. I mean, I'm a huge fan of Alexa though, so it's kind of unfair. But I think this is a very good song. Obviously her vocals are through the roof. I mean, she was always a very good singer, but I think she's better than ever. Every time I hear her, she's better than ever. And it's another rock song that kind of like winks to the era of the 90s and maybe more 2000 in this case at least. More pop punk definitely, but she's done a great job at it as well, so I'm really happy that she's still making music and obviously succeeding at it. Next you have J-Hope, Sweet Dreams featuring Miguel. Listen, I think J-Hope can do whatever he wants, but I think J-Hope rapper when he's doing a hip hop project is legit a top 5 artist in Korea. So this is okay. It does what it's supposed to do. It's gonna chart like crazy. It's gonna go crazy on Instagram and TikTok. But for me, I think an artist like him can give so much to the music. And again, you have reaches now. Go get yourself some great hip hop artists and producers and make it amazing hip hop. Make it classic. You can. Go and do it. Will he ever do it? Fuck no, but it'll be nice to see. Next we have Treasure with Yellow. They're alive. They're still breathing. None of them are dead. It's decent. I like it. What I would call this. It's both hip hop. It's both pop. I think it's very 90s as well. If you know anything about like J groups, Japanese groups from like the 90s, early 2000s as well, a lot of them did this where they would find they were like mix singing and rapping in this way. A lot of famous groups did this during that period of time, and they're kind of doing similar thing, obviously in a group format that's bigger, and it's working. Normally I associate Treasure with hard-hitting tracks, but I mean at the same time they are good enough to do this and deliver, in my opinion, a solid song. And this is an example of, in my opinion, a solid track through and through. But obviously I wish it's what they're really good at, which. So next we have NXT with Over and Over, and I was listening to the song for a minute because I didn't really remember, and then I was like, oh, this is exactly what I remembered about it actually. This sounds like a lot like a Big Bang track through and through. With that chorus, and I like how they use that singer with the green hair. Unfortunately, I don't know his name in the music video. When you see, he sounds a lot like GD. By the way, it's actually crazy. But the song is really fun. It's very sweet and enjoyable, bubbly, and I like to see, like I said, boy groups do that more in today's era, because for some time that was completely abandoned. This guy sounds like Song, as well. Like, yeah, it's such an interesting group, I think. you know, in terms of voices. Like, I never associate that guy's voice with me. You know, I've heard NXT before, but I heard their albums, and like I said, I don't really watch music videos in general. And it never really appeared to me they sound like that much like some old school K-pop idols, but they're good, and I always liked NXT. They had a little bit, I think, of ups and downs, but I think now they're pretty good and they're stable. NTX, my bad, on NXT is the WWE Federation. Next we have Sulgi with Baby Baby Girl. I like this song a lot, but I don't get the hype. Like, I feel like Sulgi has made better tracks in the past. I think because this fits a little bit more with the classic mold of the bad girl, rebellious girl. Maybe it fits more with today's generation, but one of the best songs came out last year, nobody knew about it. So again, when people talk about to me about, oh, why is nobody promoting this? It was like last year, 2 years ago, regardless. She had an amazing track. I'll check you in a minute. And nobody talked about it, so it's obviously it didn't matter then. But everybody knows SM policy, they don't really push solo stuff, really, for the most part. I think it's called Please Don't Go, right? Okay, so it was 2 years ago. It was Anywhere But Home. Amazing track. Has 1 million views, nobody cared about it. And I think it's better than this, but it's a very good song. And I think Sulgi showcases a little bit of range, because people normally don't associate specifically her with this style of music. But she's obviously very good at it, and she can pull it off if she wants to. And last but not least, we have Yeji with Air. And I think specifically in her case, she released an amazing track, back to back. I think great vocals, super fun music, and really really catchy. And I think this style of like recreating this 2010 style of pop music really fits her very good, and fits her vocal and her tone or voice very well. Unfortunately, the album doesn't hit as hard. I think they kind of suffer from that a little bit, because they wanted to give her more variety, but then kind of kills the consistency of the project, and kind of make you feel like, oh, could have been much better if they just focus on like 2 or 3 things and really hone those 2 or 3 things as best as they could, and then from there just deliver a better project. You know, it's not that it's bad, but it was more disappointing, especially after you hear the single, you know. Next we have SFN with Love Race. I think this song specifically is a song that I enjoy about them. I feel like it's very upbeat. It's kind of a different style that we're doing the last 2-3 years, and I think it's a breath of fresh air, if I have to be honest. I kind of like the vibe about it. I like the way they decided to produce it, and I think the way they decided to approach it, in the sense that it never is over the top in its production, but it's nice to listen to, and it's quite like refreshing. I think in a scene where people don't tend to like really, in general, repropose this style of K-pop as much, because there's certain dominant groups like Stray Kids and NCT who have been doing this genre for a very long time, so companies are scared to approach it. But I mean, I think SFN has done a great job in this case, and I think they made sure as well that everybody in the song could shine and have their moment, which is pretty cool as well, in my opinion. It makes this song, I think, kind of fun as well. Next we have a new beat with Hiccup, another hip-hop, heavy hip-hop, Korean K-pop track, I would say. More K-hip-hop really than K-pop, but the production is really good on here. I have to say, I really enjoy the different beat changes and the way they've been really flowing on the beat. The chorus is fun, the song is simple, doesn't lose as much, but I said, the thing I really like about the song personally is the flows, and I really like the attitude they have on the track. It actually is really enjoyable to listen to as a hip-hop fan who's been listening to the genre for most of his life, right? It's kind of cool really to hear, and they've done a really good job, I think, actually making it into a good song. Next we have Say My Name with Shalala. Cute track, I have to say, really upbeat, love the vibes about it. It's very spring, I think, coded in many ways, and I don't know if this is their debut. I don't think so, honestly, but I'm not 100% sure. But I really like the production on here, and I really like the overall vibes about the track. And it's a simple track, I think, in its idea execution, but at the end of the day, you do it well, and I think you still get a nice, like I said, spring coated track that the younger generations can vibe to, and somebody who's a little bit older than like me can still enjoy and think it's good, you know. Next we have La Seraphim with Hot, and I have to say maybe this is unpopular from most people, but I didn't really enjoy this track personally. I feel like there's something missing about it. I would say mainly vocally, I think. While the vibe is there and everything else is there, I think these songs specifically need, I think, more vocal power, and I think obviously La Seraphim is not known for their incredible vocals and everything, so this type of track can be a little bit boring to listen to and kind of be samey in many ways compared to stuff they've already done in the past, and therefore you kind of like listen to it and like, it is what it is. It's uninteresting to me. It's very boring, and I think, again, from a group that has done this style already in the past, you need to bring something more through it, and I like this type of songs if they have a good vocal power behind it, you know, and Seraphim doesn't have that. Next we have Q with Tempo. This is an artist that I discovered randomly this year, and I really enjoyed this song. I think this is kind of fresh, different, and made me a fan, so maybe you'll become a fan as well. Next we have East Shine with Lucky Tonight. Such a forgettable song in my opinion. So unoriginal, so uninteresting. Again, so many artists are making this style of music now, where if you're just gonna make it as equal as everybody else, even production wise, vocally, melodically, etc, etc, you're just not gonna stand out, and vocally they're not that great compared to other groups, so they kind of have to compensate much more with like auto-tune and like effects on their voices to kind of get away with that. Next we have Just Be with Chest. I think this is a great example of how you can make a song a little bit more interesting by giving them a little bit more of a fun production. I don't think you have to be like the most original artist in the world, but you know, this production has a lot of different influences, a lot of different styles going into it. It makes the song much more enjoyable to listen to and like really feel like you're hearing something new, and especially for Just Be, it is something different, which makes me really interested to hear their project and see if the project itself carries this type of style throughout in a consistent manner. Next we have Prism with Knockdown. I think the worst part of this song is the production. Honestly, I think if this production had more of an oomph to it, if it had maybe a couple of things more into it, I think the song would have been much more enjoyable. The girls are very good performers though. The vocals are there, and so overall I enjoyed it. I still think the production kind of holds this song back much more, and I think with a better production it would have been a much better song. Next we have Heavy with Ever. Pretty good song, really enjoyed it. I love the J-Rock inspiration from a production standpoint, obviously from a vocal standpoint. The song is very good, and obviously it's a song with meaning, which is not something you'll find a lot in Korea. Especially in this type of genre, tend to be very generic in what they say, but this artist does a great job in telling, I think, a pretty interesting story in a very good way, obviously, and vocally she's very, very good, and the music video is fantastic, animated. This kind of like cartoon, like manga type of style is really enjoyable. Let's have I Am with Don't Speak. Interesting seeing I Am dealing dubstep. I think it's somewhat interesting, I think. And some drum and bass as well. It's okay. I think I Am doesn't really add much on this track. I wish he actually rapped first and foremost, or at least put more effort in giving better vocals than just relying on his deep voice and on the production to carry him on this track, but it's okay. I've heard him do better stuff in the past. Next we have YDB with Can't Keep Smiling. A great feel-good track. Nice to hear them being more of a thing in Korean rock, I think, and vocally really good, cool voice, and the song really has that happy feeling to it. Kind of reminds you of certain Weezer tracks as well, in the idea of how it's executed, not necessarily in the instrumentals, but in the way the chorus goes and the lyrics are. So I really enjoyed it. I really thought it was pretty good, and again, nice to see, like I said, rock, as I've said even in the past, kind of having a resurgence in Korea in the last year and a half, 2 years. Next up, Itzna with Sign. I think it's okay. I think it doesn't have much impact. I think it does a better job representing the members of the group, much better. Vocally it's solid, production wise it's okay. I think it's a very predictable track, and in the way it's layered, and so to me it gets boring fast when you hear it more than 3 or 4 times in a row, but it's doing great. It has 50 million views, which is pretty good. Next, we have one of the biggest surprises probably in years for me in terms of concept and the way it's been I think presented, which is At Art with Good Girl. This very J-pop, because it is J-pop completely in its presentation, vocally, production-wise, even the melodies and the rhythm. It's very J-pop, and to say it applied to Korean girls is very interesting. In a K-pop system, could be really work. The song is doing pretty good. It has like 7 million views, and it's pretty much an independent project, and it works vocally very well. The production works very well, and in this specific industry, it stands out a lot because a lot of people don't make this style of music. So I personally like it. Again, as somebody who listens a lot of Japanese stuff as well, doesn't necessarily strike me as my favorite thing, but kind of like it how they've tried to do something different and kind of go out of their comfort zone and make something very unique in this industry. I respect them for it. And last but not least, we have Jackson Wang with GBAD, which also means gotta be a dick sometimes, because that's what the song says. It's pretty good, I have to say. I've really enjoyed it. I think production was fantastic. It's extremely well produced, probably the best produced song of this month. Vocally improved, the rapping is good, sometimes disconnected. Kind of feels like people have been writing in certain aspects. You can tell certain use of vocabulary or vocabs, and like even sometimes like the song goes away on a topic and then it changes like this, then it goes like this. Like, it's fine. It's obviously the way these productions go. In terms of music is fun. I think it's eclectic. I think it's still fun that he's trying to have like a connection with his music videos, which he's directing. Obviously, people that are having works in China, people that are or Hong Kong, whatever it works in, like these people are very capable. There's an active, great industry in Asia, specifically in China, when it comes to make music videos, and people don't know that. But this music is fantastic. I don't know if they did this in China and America though. I'm pretty sure in China because he does most of them there. But the song is fantastic. Really enjoy the storytelling through the video and then through obviously the song itself, and it's probably not his best single ever. Maybe it is, but I would say since 2020 it's probably been my favorite thing he has released, and it's recency bias, but I do truly think it is. And this was it for the songs of April. Prima Notte of March 2025. Overall, a good month. Not a lot of bad stuff that I've heard. Obviously, the video about the album is also gonna come around, and you're gonna check that as well. I think for albums, I'm a little bit more hard on certain things, on certain projects specifically, but on songs specifically, I think it's been pretty good. I think it's been decent. Start of this year, I think there's been a lot of solid music with some really high highs and some, I think, very interesting lows. As far as I understand, this summer is going to be pretty important in K-pop, probably in a decade almost. So I'm curious to see how it's going to go. But overall, I've enjoyed it. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me your favorite and least favorite songs of this month. Leave a like, comment, share, subscribe as always, and see you with the next video. Goodbye.